Unemployment falls to 5.5%. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because the latest unemployment figures have come out from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. And there's some good news in them. Unemployment is down to 5.5%. Now you've got to understand this is based on the ABS methodology and approach to measuring unemployment. It's not the only game in town. There's another methodology that we're going to have a look at now, just the latest figures that they have, and this is the Roy Morgan unemployment rate. Now, the Roy Morgan unemployment rate is sitting at 9%. Now, that's, well, certainly higher than the ABS method, and that's generally the rule of case. They're critical of the approach that the ABS does. I suspect the ABS is stuck looking at using the, well, a particular methodology to ensure consistency with previous data. Now, what's important is to look at the trend between both of them. If Roy Morgan is going down and ABS is going down, then generally one could argue unemployment is heading down, regardless of the differences in rates. 5.5%, 9%, that definitely is an issue. What I think is most important is this number here, the 18.3%. Now, this is a combination of the unemployment rate of 9% and the underemployment rate of 9.3%. Those people that are not getting enough hours or who want more. Now, there's a funny thing with unemployment. When the economy is improving, unemployment might actually go up because, well, unemployment is dependent on the labor force participation, the number of people that actually participate in the economy. One of these scary and concerning things of a big recession like we had now is that you'll have economic scarring, where certain proportions or portions of the workforce step away, leave the industry and don't, or leave the economy, leave the workforce really, and don't engage again. And that's the biggest risk with the youth. It's not as big a deal if someone much older is doing that. Maybe they've only got 5 years left in the workforce, you know, if they step out and they no longer participate. But if someone in their 18 or 20s steps out, well, that's going to have a big issue and long-term consequences. That's one of the elements of good news that's in this, because youth unemployment has dropped down. So let's have a look at this media release from the Australian Bureau of Statistics of what they're saying about this latest unemployment data. So, the seasonal adjusted unemployment rate fell by 0.2 percentage points to 5.5% between March and April 2021, according to the ABS. Bjorn Jorvis, head of labour statistics at the ABS, said this was the sixth consecutive fall in the unemployment rate, down from 6.9% in October 2020. The unemployment rate is now 0.2 percentage points, or 33,000 people above the start of the pandemic. Importantly, it's 2 percentage points below its peak in July 2020, when it was at 7.4%, Mr. Jarvis said. The youth unemployment rate fell to its lowest level since the GFC, reflecting a strong increase in employment for young men, following a number of increases for young women in recent months. So employment now has worked. The end of the JobKeeper wage subsidy did not have a discernible impact on the employment between March and April. And this is something we've mentioned on this channel, among others, is just the risk of unemployment. I'm just going to bring, of the end of JobKeeper, the JobKeeper scheme, everyone. And I will just bring up this chart here to show us all how much the government has actually stepped in. I mean, this is all part of the government coming to the rescue. Now, you can see here the JobKeeper applicants, you know, hundreds of thousands of people around the whole country, everyone. 300,000, 323 in New South Wales, 289 in Victoria, 175 in Queensland. If we look at it as a percentage of those employed in the workforce, it was nearly 9% in Victoria was supported by JobKeeper. So, you know, I, among others, were concerned that this removal of JobKeeper would start to have rippling effects through the economy, because we also, well, there was also the government intervention with regards to businesses that were, well, kept alive. The zombie companies kept alive. Insolvencies are at a lower level than one would expect. So these are the issues, guys. It looks like at the moment, the removal of JobKeeper hasn't actually impacted unemployment at this moment. But Here's the thing. It hasn't been that long. There's going to be a bit of time for things to filter through. We'll have to see. And then we've got the big, that little bill that the government's incurred. That's something we have to look at later. We've not seen large changes in indicators that suggest a clear JobKeeper impact, such as increase in people working reduced or 0 hours for economic reasons, or because they were leaving their job. We also haven't seen large or net flows out of employment across many population groups, he said. Some of the 31,000 fall in employment may relate to the end of JobKeeper, but it could also reflect usual month-to-month variation in the labour market and some larger than usual seasonal changes similar to those we saw earlier in the year. Several factors explain the large fall in hours, down 0.7%, which was a gain attributed to higher than usual numbers of people taking leave around the public and school holidays. Like we saw in January, the number of people taking leave over the Easter, public and school holidays was higher than in the past, Jarvis said. The 31,000 or 0.2% fall in employment was due to a decline in female employment, down 0.6%, while male employment increased by 0.1%. Female hours fell by 1.6%, while male hours remained steady. Participation. The falls in both employment and unemployment in April saw the participation rate decrease 0.3 percentage points to 66%, back to around its pre-pandemic levels. The female participation rate decreased 0.5 percentage points to 61.3%, and the male participation rate decreased 0.1 to 70.8%. Underemployment. Underemployment decreased 0.2 percentage points to 7.8% in April, 1 percentage point below its pre-pandemic level of 8.8%. The underutilization rate, which combines unemployment and underemployment, decreased by 0.4 percentage points to 13.3%. This is 6.8 percentage points below its peak in April 2020 and 0.8 percentage points below the start of the pandemic, reflecting the continued fall in underemployment. Today's release includes additional analysis of hours worked, including people working 0 hours, and an analysis of employment and hours worked at state and territory level. How can you work 0 hours? But I guess you can. So let's jump and have a look at this data here. What's going on here? Oh, I'm having a problem with my presentation anyway. So the labor force. Here's the key statistics. The unemployment rate decreased to 5.5, everyone. So there you go, guys. It's gone down to 5.5%. Sorry, I have to fix this this graphical issue. It's annoying. There we go. There we go. Fixed. A polished operation running here at HeiseSays. I mean, what do you think, everyone? Are you surprised with this 5.5% figure that we're seeing here? Did you expect to see it, or did you expect to see a correction in unemployment? Looks like, JobKeeper, removing it hasn't made much difference. Now, would one argue that that means JobKeeper has been effective in maintaining those relationships? Or do we actually need JobKeeper at all? We'll never know. It'll be interesting to see. So, employed people, monthly change is down 30,000. Yearly change is up. So, employed people are down 0.2. Unemployed people is down 4.3%, 10% on the year. The unemployment rate is from 5.7 to 5.5. Underemployment is down as well. Everything's down. Monthly hours worked on all jobs is down 13 million. It's still down on month change, up on a 12.5% change. Unemployment, we can see it has fallen down. Unemployment, it's taken a slight portion off. And employment to population ratio is up for blokes, slightly down for everyone because females are down. Here's monthly hours worked, seasonally adjusted. Look at that year-on-year change. Well, that's because we've got all these unusual cuts, and the participation rate we can see, and well, underemployment is falling, everyone. It's falling. And what do we have here? Let's look at what's this? The unemployment rate in New South Wales 5.5, Victoria 5.5, Queensland 6.1, 5.7 in SA, 4.9 in WA, and Tasmania is 6.2. So Queensland, we're probably right up there with the others. I can't see NT at the moment. So there we have it, everyone. The unemployment rate is sitting at 5.5%. It continues to drop. it looks like we're not seeing the impact of JobKeeper yet. Now, the lessons here, we have to remember we're in a market that has had significant government intervention. Let's not forget the amount of debt that the government, state and federal level now has incurred. Nearly $1.3 trillion predicted for 2024. And it may take some time to actually see these impacts of JobKeeper peter out. But at least the good thing is that the youth unemployment has decreased. So youth unemployment is down 1% to sitting at 10%. We have a look at that here. Where is that? I saw that somewhere before. Youth unemployment decreased 1.1 points to 10.6%. So it is still higher than everyone else, but it's good that it's falling. That's the one that worries me the most, honestly. Youth unemployment is 3.4 points lower than April 2020 and 1 point lower than March 2020. So there we go, guys. We'll have to see how this all plays out. Are you a fan of JobKeeper? Do you think JobKeeper saved it all? Or is this showing us that it may not have actually been necessary? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content, there's a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.